Hey, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my Leica talks, all things Leica. Today I want to talk about a very simple little thing. So I often carry this in my pocket with a small lens cap because it's so thin I can just put it in my jeans pocket. And you know how much I love having a very small camera with me, but it's a very, very mighty lens. It's an old 35 or a 50 f 3.5 Elmar. But another thing that I also find I really like, although it can cost you a few frames, is this release button. I ended up picking up a few different release buttons, and sometimes I'll buy a used camera and it'll come with it, and that's the kind of a thing where I do like that. They had a release that was just a threaded release that you could put a cable into, and it was just a shutter button. But this adds a little bit of a feeling to it, and see, it was shot and I didn't advance it, and now I just advanced it, and now it's able to go in my pocket and waste a frame. In fact, it may have been triggered because I had placed it somewhere and it accidentally shot, and I usually wind it right after every time I take a picture. So it's a positive and a negative thing. It's a great feeling thing because it's very comfortable to shoot with the shutter release. It's just a small little button. They usually come with a little rubber gasket that as you're putting it in, the rubber will grab the threads and it won't work its way loose. Although I'm always kind of tightening it, making sure it's not popping out. And I have lost some. I also use them on Fuji X100s, and once in a while I'll look and suddenly it's no longer there and I wonder where it went. But if you're looking for a small little accessory that'll really, especially if you use a bag and not your jeans pocket for your Leica, look into a button. They're inexpensive. It's a little accessory you can afford, I bet. And it does make the camera have a little bit of a different feeling, and I like it. I have them on many of my Leicas now, and it's one of those things. I think I picked up one, it was an older one, a button from like an old Nikon, and it was wider and it was from the 60s, and it fits better than these newer ones, which are often smaller and metal or plastic. This older one was a little bit bigger. It's my preference, but these are perfectly good, and like I said, they're very inexpensive online. You can find those. All right, that's Ace Photography Talk, little Leica talk. Hey, if you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button. If you can support, hit the Patreon. Thanks to all my supporters. I'll be back next time. We'll talk more Leica. As always, here's the good light.